Who's ready for some Miami Heat basketball with Deron Butler on Kendall Sports Network?
Good Sunday evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Deron Butler, welcoming you to another edition of Heat Zone Live, courtesy of Kendall Sports Network. It may be Championship Sunday for the NFL, but here in the Heat Zone, it's Miami Heat all the time, every time. And the Heat wrap up their West Coast road trip as they venture into the desert, the Valley, going up against the Phoenix Suns, and what should be another high-stakes, high-scoring game. Last night, the Miami Heat came out on top against the Utah Jazz, in which Bam Adebayo had a double-double, and Nikola Jovic showed up and showed out on the bench. Meanwhile, for the Phoenix Suns, the team that Miami will be facing tonight, they played against the Atlanta Hawks, and unfortunately for them, they lost Devin Booker to an ankle injury. So right now, players such as Dillon Brooks, Colin Gillespie, and Grayson Allen are looking to be the ones to step up for tonight's game. The last time we faced the Phoenix Suns, it was back in the Heat's house, and it was a very close game in which the Heat walked away with a victory. I mean, Grayson Allen was getting his baskets, Colin Gillespie was getting his baskets, Dillon Brooks, I mean, he was getting his baskets, but also doing Dillon Brooks things as well. But for the Heat, they will need to have a repeat performance from yesterday. And here's how they're going to do that against the Phoenix Suns. Key number one, they need to play some great defense. Going up against Utah, I know the Jazz had some turnovers, but the Heat definitely had their moments on defense to slowing down Utah. And that's what helped them propel their offense. While on the subject of offense, key number two, get back to the offensive boards. Against Utah, going back to the Utah game, Miami had more offensive rebounds than Utah, and it definitely helped them get second chance points, as well as getting themselves back on offense and resetting, as well as getting to the free throw line. Which leads me to key number three, getting more free throws to help generate and boost your offense. This is something that's been much needed for Miami. Although they rank number one with the pace and flow on offense, they also need to generate and mix it up with their offense, and free throws are the one thing that will help them get there. So right now the players are warming up, and we will have opening tip-off and the starting lineups very soon. And we are back, ready for tonight's game. The Miami Heat taking on the Phoenix Suns. Look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. The Phoenix Suns have Colin Gillespie, Grayson Allen, Dillon Brooks, Royce O'Neal, and Mark Williams. And for your Miami Heat, the same five as before: Kasper Ziakajunius, Norman Powell, Pelle Larsson, Andrew Wiggins, and Bam Adebayo. So this one should be a fun matchup. A key matchup that I'm looking forward to seeing is Dillon Brooks taking on Pelle Larsson. Yeah, I know that's kind of like a cruel matchup, but I want to see the physicality, and I want to see who has the heart, the grit, and desire to win it all tonight. Alright, so both teams are still warming up for tonight's match. And we should have opening tip-off very soon. Alright, Phoenix right now already feeling themselves for tonight's game. We should have opening tip-off right now. And Miami will win the tip. Kasper Ziakajunius has the ball. Passes it out to Pelle Larsson. Out to Bam. Here comes Bam. Kicks it out. Here comes Wiggins. To Bam. Corner three. And Bam Adebayo knocks it down and put Miami on the board. Alright, here comes Phoenix. Grayson Allen has the ball. Alley-oop. No go. Here comes Miami. Norman Powell for three. That rims out. And that's going to be last touch by... I believe it's going to be last touch by Miami. So it'll be Phoenix ball. Alright, here comes Suns. Grayson Allen, long three. That rims out. And that's going to go back to the Miami Heat. Alright, here comes Kasper Ziakajunius. And that's going to be a foul on Miami. That one's going to be on Kasper Ziakajunius. Alright, so a technical free throw will be made by Phoenix. The basket is good, so Phoenix are now on the board, thanks to Grayson Allen. Alright, Phoenix will have it side out. Here comes Colin Gillespie, guarded by Kasper Ziakajunius. Gillespie finds Royce O'Neal. Here comes Dillon Brooks. And Dillon Brooks gets the basket. We're all tied at 3. Alright, here comes Bam. Bam driving into the lane. Misses the basket. Rebound by Phoenix. Alright, here comes Dillon Brooks. Ball goes sailing right out of bounds. It goes right back to the Heat. And here comes Miami missing that basket, and here comes Phoenix. Royce O'Neal bringing it down to the floor. Here comes Grayson Allen. And Allen gets the basket to put Phoenix up ahead. Alright, and here comes Bam. Gives it to Larson. Larson gets fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws. Alright, Larson will go to the line for 2 free throws. Larson makes the first free throw. And Larson makes both free throws. So we're all tied at 5. Alright, here comes Colin Gillespie. Gillespie guarded by Yakajunas. Gillespie gives it to Williams, blocked by Yakajunas. Ball goes sailing out of bounds, and it will be Heat ball. Alright, here goes Norman Powell. Kicks it out to Yakajunas for 3. Rims out. Rebound by Wiggins. Loses the ball. Goes sailing out of bounds. It will still be Heat ball. Phoenix right now have 4 turnovers. Miami only has 1. Alright, here comes Norman Powell. And he gets the basket. Score is now 7-5 Miami. Comes Colin Gillespie again. Gets the basket and we're all tied at 7. Bam Adebayo gets fouled and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Alright, right now Bam, in the last game he had a double-double. So let's see if he can repeat that again. Alright, Bam knocks down the first free throw. And he makes the second one. Alright, so Miami leads by 2. Here comes Colin Gillespie. Finds Dylan Brooks. Brooks knocks it down, and he gets it. Alright, and the Suns retake the lead. Here comes Bam. And Bam gets the basket. And Miami is up by 1. Alright, here comes Dylan Brooks again. Misses that basket, but he will go to the line for 2 free throws. That foul is going to be on Bam. Dylan Brooks knocks down the first free throw, and we're all tied at 11. And Dylan Brooks makes both free throws, so Phoenix now have the lead again. Here comes Bam. Gives it to Norman Powell. Here comes Norman Powell. Rebound by Bam, and he gets the putback. It's been back and forth so far between these two teams. And here comes Colin Gillespie, missing that three. Rebound by Wiggins. Here comes Wiggins. Wiggins. Misses that basket, and here comes Colin Gillespie and the Suns. All right, and here comes Colin Gillespie. Phoenix passing it all around. That's a long three, but it misses just off the mark. Right, Bam going for three, and that one misses the mark. Here comes Phoenix now. A three on the way, and that one goes in. And Colin Gillespie knocks it down, and that will prompt a Miami Heat timeout. It's back and forth we go between these two teams taking the lead, but it's Phoenix ahead 15-13. All right, and we are back. Score 15-13 Phoenix. Devin Booker, as I mentioned earlier, he is out with an injury, so he will not be playing in tonight's game. He suffered a sprained ankle when the Suns played against the Atlanta Hawks. Right now, Miami has the ball. They're looking to tie the game again. Jaime Jaquez is now in the game for Miami. And so is Nikola Jovic. Jovic going for a three. That rims out. Rebound by Wiggins. Wiggins finds Norman Powell. Norman Powell driving into the lane, and he gets the basket. And we're all tied at 15. All right, here comes Phoenix. Dillon Brooks gives it to Royce O'Neal. Back to Brooks. Brooks for three. That rims out. And that's recovered by Phoenix. Uncontested corner three. That rims out as well. Rebound by Wiggins. Here comes Miami. Wiggins gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez gives it to Jovic. Jovic loses the ball, but he gets fouled. That foul is going to be on former Heat player Jamaree Bouyea. Bouyea, of course, he did spend some time on the bench with the Miami Heat, as well as playing for the Sioux Falls Skyforce. All right, here comes Hawkins. Hawkins gives it to Norman Powell. He gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. I'm sorry, Miami will have it side out instead. All right, Hawkins has the ball. Gives it to Norman Powell. Back to Hawkins. Here comes Hawkins. Finds Nikola Jovic for the corner 3. That rims out. Wiggins comes in with the rebound and gets the putback. Miami has retaken the lead in this game. Andrew Wiggins with putting himself on the board. All right, here comes the Phoenix Suns. Colin Gillespie going for the long 3. That rims out. Rebound by Miami. Here comes Yakajunas. Gives it to Jovic, to Norman Powell, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Norman Powell makes the first free throw. And Myron Gardner is entering the game for Miami. He replaces Andrew Wiggins. And Norman Powell makes both free throws. Miami right now are 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Phoenix 3 for 3. All right, Phoenix is swinging the ball. There's a corner 3 that rims out. Rebound by Miami. Here comes Norman Powell for 3. That rims out. Rebound by Miami, and Kasper Yakajunas is there for the putback, and that's gonna prompt the Phoenix Suns timeout. Nice heads up play from the Sun. Nice heads up play from Yakajunas to get the ball rolling for Miami. The Heat are living up their second chance points as they lead 21-15 over Phoenix. And we are back. Score is 21-15 Miami. So right now the Heat are benefiting from the offensive rebounds and the second chance points that they are getting over Phoenix. Let's see if they can continue that momentum while also providing some tough defense. Alright, Phoenix will inbound the ball. Alright, here comes Colin Gillespie. Alright, Phoenix is swinging the ball around. There's a three. That's a miss. Rebound by Nikola Jovic. Here comes Jovic. Loses the ball, but he gets fouled. So that will put Jovic at the line for 2 free throws. Miami are in the bonus right now. Alright, Jovic missing the first free throw. Alright, Casper Siaka Jr. will come out of the game for Miami. And Jovic makes 1 of 2 from the line, as we see Drew Smith now on the floor for Miami. And Phoenix comes up with that basket. Alright, here comes Hawkins. Hawkins finding Norman Powell for the uncontested basket. Nice court vision from Hawkins as Miami go up by 7. Alright, here comes Jamari Bouye. Loses the ball, and here comes Miami again. Norman Powell has the ball. Driving to the lane. Kicks it out to Jovic. To Gardner. To Drew Smith. And Drew Smith through 2 defenders. Kicks to the lane, and he gets a layup. Miami now leads by 9. And that foul is going to be on Myron Gardner. That's going to send Phoenix to the line for 2 free throws. Alright, so it looks like this play is going to be under review. The foul that was called on Myron Gardner, so that will be a timeout for both teams. So it looks like it was a foul on Myron Gardner. So it will be, I think it's going to be 2 free throws for Phoenix. Yeah, it will be 2 free throws for Phoenix. Phoenix missing the first free throw. And Phoenix missing both free throws. Here comes Drew Smith, the Hawkets. Myron Gardner now has the ball. Gives it to Jovic. Here comes Jovic driving into the lane. He spin. Misses that, but he gets fouled. So Jovic will go to the line for 2 free throws. Alright, Jovic missing the first free throw. And Jovic goes 1 of 2 from the line. Alright, and here comes... Alright, here comes Phoenix. Suns are swinging the ball around. They give it to Iguodala. Here comes Iguodala. Misses the layup. Ball is knocked loose, but I think that's going to be a foul on Miami. Or maybe that. No, that's going to be a foul on Phoenix instead. So that will send Myron Gardner to the line for 2 free throws. Gardner was the one who touched it last. Alright, so Myron Gardner will go to the line for 2 free throws. Gardner knocks down the first free throw. Alright, Dylan Brooks is coming out of the game for Phoenix. And Myron Gardner makes both free throws. So it's now a 12-point lead for Miami. Alright. And I think that's going to be another foul on... No, that's goaltending. Simone Fontecchio was the one that got caught doing the goaltending. Fontecchio wants a challenge on that play, but I don't think he's going to get it. But that was either Myron Gardner or Fontecchio who committed the goaltending. So we may have another review on our hands to see if there was goaltending on Miami. Alright, we're waiting for the official review. And the next time the Heat will play, they return back home to host the Orlando Magic, a team they've had very little success against this season, although they lead the all-time series 81-64. So Heat and Magic this Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. All right, now officials are still reviewing if there was a goaltending call on Miami. Didn't look like it at first. Looked like the ball hit the rim before that, or hit the backboard before that. Alright, still waiting the official review. Looks like it's taking forever. Alright, we got the official review, and it says it is not goaltending, so 2 points have been taken off for Phoenix. Alright, Miami will have the ball. Drew Smith has it. Gives it to Hawkes. Here comes Hawkes. Ball's knocked loose. Miami manages to recover. Jovic gets the basket off. And that's going to be a 24-second violation on the Heat. It will be Suns ball. Right now, Phoenix looking to get those 2 points back from earlier. All right, here comes Colin Gillespie. Gillespie with a turnaround jumper, and he gets it. The Suns trail by 10 in this one. Colin Gillespie now with 5 points, shooting 50% from the field, and it looks like we got ourselves. I thought we almost had ourselves a little confrontation between these two teams. Myron Gardner getting into it with Colin Gillespie, and then Myron Gardner knocking him down. And Myron Gardner will come out of the game with 2 fouls already. All right, here comes Hawkes. Hawkes finds Fontecchio. Ball gets knocked loose. I think that's going to be a kick ball violation on Phoenix. Simone Fontecchio will go to the line for 2 free throws. He misses the first free throw. And Fontecchio goes 1 of 2 from the line. Here comes Colin Gillespie with a step back. Misses it. Rebound by Jaquez. Jaquez gives it to Jovic. Here comes Jovic. Jovic still backing him down. Gives it to Bam for the corner three. That's an air ball. And here comes Phoenix. Jamari Bouye knocks it down for Phoenix. As the Suns are within 9. And here comes Nikola Jovic driving into the lane and gets the layup. All right, and here comes Phoenix again. Almost lost the ball. Miami's defense so far so good. All right, Colin Gillespie now has the ball. Kicks it out. And that's going to be a 24-second violation on the Suns. It will be heat ball. Here comes Jaquez. And that will end the first quarter. Miami jumps ahead of Phoenix in this one, thanks to their defense and offensive rebounding for second chance points, and of course their free throws. The Heat lead 32-21. If you have any questions or comments regarding the Miami Heat, this entire NBA season, or even trade rumors surrounding Ja Morant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Jonathan Kuminga, feel free to leave a question or comment and I'll answer it for you. And we are back. Score is 32-21 Miami. The Heat right now have been on a roll thanks to their defense. They're rebounding on offense and getting second chance points, plus free throws. So right now the second quarter begins. Phoenix has the ball. Right, here comes Colin Gillespie. I'm sorry, that's Grayson Allen. He gets fouled, and he will be sent to the line for 2 free throws. Alright, so Grayson Allen will go to the line for 2 free throws. Sorry, 3 free throws, I mean. Allen makes the first. Grayson Allen makes the second free throw. And Grayson Allen makes all 3 free throws. Alright, here comes Bam Adebayo. Misses the jumper, and here come the Phoenix Suns. Here comes Grayson Allen, flying into the lane. He kicks it out. And there's Royce O'Neal for the basket. Suddenly, the Phoenix Suns are starting to come back into this game. Alright, here comes Fontecchio getting the reverse layup, and that will give Miami, that's Pelle Larsson with an 8-point lead. Here comes Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal driving to the lane. Manages to get the basket. Was looking for the foul, but doesn't get it. Okay, here comes Fontecchio. Gives it to Drew Smith. And Drew Smith gets the basket. Alright, and here comes Grayson Allen again. He gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Right up, not 2 free throws. I'm sorry, yes, he will go to the line for 2 free throws. My apologies. Grayson Allen back to the line for the 2 free throws. He makes the first free throw. And he makes another one. The Spurs are within 6 right now. Alright, here comes Fontecchio. Gives it to Bam. Bam driving into the lane. Kicks it out to Fontecchio for 3. That rims out. Rebound by Phoenix. Here goes Dylan Brooks with the fadeaway, and he knocks it down. The Suns are starting to get back into this one, and they are trailing by 4. Dylan Brooks with 9 points, shooting 75% from the field. Here comes Larsson with the runner. He misses it. Rebound by Bam. And Bam gets the basket. Miami right now are thriving with those second chance points. Bam already with 11 points, shooting 50% from the field. Right, and Phoenix regains possession of the ball. And the Suns managed to get that putback. So right now it's a 4-point game. And that will prompt a Miami Heat timeout. The Heat may have the lead, but right now the Suns are starting to get themselves back into this one. Miami leads 38-34. And we are back. Score is 38-34. And 20 years ago marked the first time Miami won the NBA championship. And on February 3rd, it is Champions Night, commemorating 20 years of the Miami Heat's first NBA championship. That featured Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal, Udonis Haslem, Alonzo Mourning. And that will take place February 3rd when the Heat host the Atlanta Hawks. That one should be a very fun yet important night for the Heat. All right, and here comes Miami. Larson has the ball. Kicks it out to Bam for three. That rims out. Rebound by Hawkes. Hawkes to Wiggins. Wiggins puts it up. And it goes in. And then the Heat lead by 6 right now. Alright, here comes Grayson. Ooh! Grayson Allen took a nasty spill, but he got fouled either way. And here comes Dillon Brooks, and he gets the basket. Right now, the Suns are trailing by 4. Still on that comeback trail. And here comes Phoenix with another steal. Fast break. And they get the basket. The Suns trail by 2 in this one. Alright, here comes Bam. Bam missing that basket. Phoenix looking to come back and take this one. Looks like we have a foul on the play, and I think that's going to be on Andrew Wiggins. Mark Williams might go to the line for 2 free throws. All right, Hawkes is coming out of the game for Miami. And the Suns managed to come back to tie the game at 40. Grayson Allen out for 12 points, shooting 50% from the field. All right, and here comes Bam. He gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Alright. Bam makes the first free throw, and that puts Miami back in front. Drew Smith comes out of the game for the Heat, and in comes Kasper Siaka-Junis. And Bam makes both free throws, so it's now a 2-point game for Miami. Alright, here comes Phoenix. Phoenix driving into the lane, missing that free throw, missing that layup, and here comes the Heat. Ball's knocked loose. Phoenix has the ball now. Grayson Allen kicks it out to Dillon Brooks. Uncontested 3. That rims out, but Phoenix is there for the putback. Did anyone in Miami bother to contest for the rebound? No. Alright, so here comes Wiggins for three. That rims out. And here comes Phoenix. There's a three on the way. And that's a miss. Rebound for Miami. The Heat so far, they look like they've been out rebounding Phoenix. Drew Smith gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Either 2 or 3 free throws, I'm not sure. Alright, Miami will have it side out instead, so no free throws for the Heat. Alright, here comes Casper. Here comes Nikola Jovic. Gives it to Norman Powell. Powell drives it to the lane. Loses it. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Suns ball. Alright, and here comes Dillon Brooks for missing that basket. Here comes Andrew Wiggins, gets fouled. Alright, the Heat catch a break right there. Alright, so it looks like we got ourselves another official review. This time it's Phoenix challenging the possession of the ball. So we'll be right back. The game is tied at 42. Alright, and we are back. Score is tied at 42. Apparently there was a foul called on Phoenix. So let's see who has possession of the ball now. I think it should be Miami. No, but it's Phoenix who has possession of the ball. Alright, Dillon Brooks has the ball now. Gives it to Colin Gillespie. Here comes Gillespie. Misses the basket. Rebound by Miami. Alright, here comes Norman Powell. Driving up to the floor for the Heat. Powell misses it, and here comes Phoenix. Royce O'Neal gives it to Dillon Brooks. Finds Mark Williams. Misses the basket. Here comes the Heat again. Jovic finds Norman Powell. Uncontested three. That rims out. Rebound by Phoenix. Here come the Suns now. Dillon Brooks, guarded by Jovic. Dillon Brooks misses that basket. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be Heat ball. Alright, and here comes the Heat. Jaquez bringing it up to the floor. Jaquez finds Norman Powell. Miami passing the ball all around. They give it to Wiggins for three. That rims out. Rebound by Phoenix. Here comes Royce O'Neal. O'Neal driving into the lane. He gets fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws. Phoenix makes the first free throw. And they make both free throws. So now we're tied. Now the Suns have the lead. Alright, here comes Kasper Jakajunas. He gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Jakajunas makes the first free throw. And Jakajunas makes both free throws. So we're all tied at 44. Alright, Phoenix bringing it up to the floor. The Suns right now are 10 of 12 from the free throw line, while Miami's gone 15 for 18. Alright, here comes Dillon Brooks. Brooks guarded by Jovic. And Brooks knocks it down to give Phoenix the lead. Alright, here comes Andrew Wiggins. Corner three on the way for Miami. And that's Nikola Jovic. 3 for Miami. The Heat retake the lead. Jovic right now with 7 points, shooting 33% from the field. And that's a missed 3 for the Suns. And here comes Jovic with the rebound. Jovic gives it to Norman Powell. Powell spot up 3. Go Norman Powell Ranger. That's a 3 for Miami. Norman Powell right now with 11 points, shooting 25% from downtown. here comes Dylan Brooks. Nope. Misses it. Rebound by Yakajunas. And here comes Jovic. Thought he got fouled, but he was not. Here comes Phoenix driving into the lane. Blocked by Hawkins. And here comes Miami again. An uncontested dunk from Nikola Jovic. And that's going to prompt a timeout for the Phoenix Suns. Right now, things are looking good for the Heat. Right now, things are looking good, real good for Miami. 6-point lead right now for them. I think the referee just called a violation on Nikola Jovic for hanging on the rim for too long. Let's watch it again. Nice block from Hawkins, and here comes Jovic, uncontested dunk. I mean, Kasper Yakajunas with the quarterback throw to Jovic with a touchdown dunk. Yeah, it looked like Jovic held on for too long. Right now, both teams are 17 for 43 from the field, an even number for 2-pointers. Miami right now on a 10-2 run. Phoenix will have possession of the ball. Here comes Grayson Allen. Allen loses the ball. Loses the ball again, but he gets fouled. So that will send Grayson Allen to the line for 2 free throws. Kasper Yakajunas slid right into him, knocking him off his feet. It looks like he was clenching his knee. Oof. Hopefully nothing serious for Grayson Allen. Alright, so Grayson Allen's at the line for Phoenix. He makes the first free throw. Alright, Bam Adebayo returning back to the game, replacing Nikola Jovic. And Kasper Yakajunas will also come out of the game, replaced by Drew Smith. Sorry, that's Pelle Larsson, excuse me. And Grayson Allen makes 12 free throws. Here comes Jaime Hawkins Jr. Hawkins gives it to Bam. To Norman Powell. Here comes Norman Powell driving into the lane. Gives it to Pelle Larsson. Larsson finds Norman Powell for 3. That rims out. Rebound by Miami. Pelle Larsson misses the basket. Here comes Phoenix with the open 3. They miss the basket. Rebound by Miami. Here comes Norman Powell. Misses that one. Rebound by Andrew Wiggins. And Wiggins gets the basket. So right now Miami's leading by 6. Alright, Phoenix has the ball now. Almost a backcourt violation. Long 3 from Grayson Allen. He recovers the loose ball. Another miss from downtown. And it's recovered by Miami. Alright, Bam gives it to Jaquez. Here comes Jaquez. Jaquez flies in and gets the layup, and he gets fouled. So Jaquez will go to the line for the and one. And Jaquez misses the and one opportunity. Right now, here comes Colin Gillespie. Gillespie for three. Misses it. Rebound by Miami. Here comes Wiggins. Gives it to Norman Powell. Norman Powell flies in. Misses the layup. Here comes Phoenix. Iguodala being guarded by Bam. Has a three on the way for Phoenix. Another one missed. Alright, Andrew Wiggins kicks it out to Jaquez. Jaquez waiting for something to happen. Gives it to Norman Powell. Finds Bam. Back to Norman Powell. Norman Powell driving in. Gets fouled, and he gets the basket. Oh, I'm sorry. Basket does not count, however. Thought that went in. Thought he would get the and one opportunity, but unfortunately he doesn't. So it'll be 2 free throws instead. Powell at the line for Miami. He makes the first free throw. And Norman Powell sinks both free throws. And that will end the second quarter. The Phoenix Suns had the lead at one point after coming back down 12 points, but the Miami Heat has managed to resurface and make their comeback even better, going on that mainly from that 10-2 run as they now lead 58-48. Looking at this game for Miami, you can still see some of the defense that's from the Utah game, as well as getting offensive rebounds, helping Bam Adebayo in that department, plus getting second chance points and getting to the free throw line. So far, this Heat team looks very solid. If I can say so myself. They look very solid, but we all know what happens with Miami come the second half. Hopefully this won't happen again for the Heat. Hopefully we can get more of the same like we did from the Utah game, where Miami was very dominant on crashing the boards as well as getting to the free throw line. So right now, if you have any comments or questions regarding the Miami Heat or the entire NBA season as a whole, or free agency rumors regarding Ja Morant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Jonathan Kuminga, feel free to drop a comment or question, and I will happily answer them for you. So right now it's halftime. So right now it's halftime, and I'll be back to commentate for the third quarter. Oh, I see we have a visitor from Canada. Luis Ruben 6829 says hello from Canada, and hello to you as well. Hello to you, my friend from north of the border. I know it must be very cold up there, but I'm glad you're here in the heat zone, where you can feel the warmth, the love, and watch the heat culture thrive. I know it must be very cold in Canada, but you're here in the heat zone where you can feel the warmth, you can feel the love, the heat culture, and hopefully see the Miami Heat come out with a big win. So glad to have you with us. All right. Luis says, "Thank you. I am a diehard Heat fan." Oh, glad to know that you are a diehard Heat fan, man. I love that. How long you been a Heat fan? How long you been a Heat fan, and what part of Canada do you hail from? Because the more Heat fans around the world, the better. The Heat culture never stops. All right. Oh, you've been a Luis. Right, Luis Rubin says he's been a Heat fan since 2012, and he's from Mississauga. So you're a Filipino Canadian. Nice. So you were with us then when the Heat won their second NBA championship. That's nice. With LeBron James, Eddie Curry, Shane Battier, Norris Cole, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and James Jones. So that's very good for you. I'm glad that you've been with the Heat since 2012, and hopefully this team can not only muster out more wins, but also get back to the NBA Finals and become champions. So we're glad to have you with us. Yeah, the big 3 days were something else, huh? That was a great time. Sorry. The big 3 days were a great time. LeBron, Wade, Bosh. Those were the days, I say. Those were the days. And of course, that team went to 4 NBA Finals appearances. Not two, well, just 2. But the excitement and the fun was just there. The excitement, the fun, the competitiveness, it was all there for Miami. And hopefully we can get back to that again. Hopefully one day. But right now, this Heat team, they just need to find their way. Yeah, the Spurs rivalry was fun for what it was. The Heat and Spurs going back and forth. That 2013 finals has to be one of the greatest finals that I have ever seen. Sorry about that before I left. As you were saying, that Spurs rivalry, including the 2013 NBA Finals, was one of the best NBA Finals that I have ever seen. It had all the drama, had all the excitement, and yes, that three-pointer from Ray Allen is forever iconic. Back out to Allen, his three-pointer, bang! Had it not been for Ray Allen, the Spurs would have had their 5th NBA championship. So that was a very great moment for Heat fans. And speaking of Heat fans, we are back. Miami right now, they've been thriving off second chance points and getting to the lane, as well as the free throw line. Right now, the Heat lead 58-48. And this game has been a series of back and forth, as well as going on some much respected runs. Miami right now shooting 19 for 49 from the field, and they've gone 3 for 17 from 3-point land. So I'm guessing with their offense, they'll need to attack the lane, get some second chance points, get some free throws, and throw in the occasional 3-point shot, because the 3-point shot hasn't been working so far. Alright, so right now both teams are still warming up, and we should have action underway. And for those of you who are tuning in, welcome. I am Deron Butler, doing the play-by-play for tonight's Miami Heat game, going up against the Phoenix Suns. Our scoring leaders so far for Miami, both Norman Powell and Bam Adebayo with 13 points each, followed by Nikola Jovic with 9, Andrew Wiggins with 6, and Drew Smith with 4. And for the Phoenix Suns, Grayson Allen is leading the way with 14 points, followed by Dylan Brooks with 13. So right now, the third quarter is underway. Here comes Grayson Allen. Alley-oops to Mark Williams, and that will bring the Suns within 8. All right, here comes Kasper Siakajunas. He gives it to Simone Fontecchio. Fontecchio to Bam. Bam guarded by Brooke. Bam guarded by Allen, I mean. He misses the shot, and that's the rebound for Phoenix. There's a 3 on the way, and Colin Gillespie knocks it down. As the Suns are now within 5. Here comes Siakajunas. Gives it to Bam. Bam gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Right now, Bam is at the line for 2 free throws. He makes the first free throw. And Bam makes both free throws. All right, and here comes Phoenix. Grayson Allen has the ball. Gives it to Gillespie. Back to Allen. The Suns are passing the ball around. That's a 3 on the way. And that one goes in for Grayson Allen. Here comes Bam. Bam backing down Royce O'Neal. Kicks it out. It's a 3 on the way. And that rims out. Norman Powell gets the rebound. Finds Wiggins. Fontecchio. Not Fontecchio, but Grayson. Pelle Larsson. Siakajunas falls down, and that ball goes out of bounds. Kasper Siakajunas recovers the ball. Recovered by Bam. Wiggins has it. Wiggins. Miami keeping the ball alive, but that one goes out of bounds. So it'll be Phoenix ball. Here comes Phoenix now. Grayson Allen throws away the ball, and here comes Miami. Norman Powell for 3. Go, Norman Powell Ranger! That's a 3 for Miami. As the Heat now lead by 7. And here comes, nope, Miami comes away with that steal. And here comes Bam, gives it to Wiggins. Norman Powell again for 3. That rims out. Rebound by Royce O'Neal. O'Neal gives it to Gillespie. That ball goes right to Miami. Here comes Norman Powell. Finds Larson. Larson gets fouled. Right now, this game is getting very physical. Alright, here comes Larson. Larson gives it to Bam. Bam in the lane. And there's Wiggins for the putback. I'm sorry, Bam Adebayo with that basket. He has 17 points, going 5 for 12 from the field. And that foul's going to be on Bam, so that will send that should be side out for Phoenix. It will be side out for Phoenix. And rebound recovered by Pelle Larson. That's a long 3. Rims out, but Wiggins is there for the putback, and that's gonna draw. And that's gonna draw a Phoenix Suns timeout. Wiggins right now with 8 points, shooting 40% from the field. Just when it looked like the Phoenix Suns was trying to make a comeback, here comes Miami again, attacking the paint and getting offensive rebounds and second chance points. Miami leads 67-56. And Luis Rubin says, this version of the Miami Heat has the capacity to make it. Well, I admire your enthusiasm, your positivity, but yeah, they have the capacity to go back to the finals, but it depends on what transactions are they willing to make, because the mid-season trade deadline is looming very soon, and Miami are expected to make some acquisitions of their own, some acquisitions and some trades. Yes, Miami does have some good lead management right now. They are leading. Let me pull up the scoreboard again. They are leading by 11. So if they can build upon that lead with more second chance points and more rebounding, plus getting to the free throw line and the occasional 3-point shot, I think Miami does have a chance of winning this game. And that should give them the momentum they will need, plus 2 days of rest, because that will be good for them. So that'll be a good thing for both. That'll be good for Miami, because that will give them time to not only rest, but also bring back some of their players that they will need, like Tyler Hero, Davion Mitchell, and Kel'el Ware. So here's hoping the Heat come out with a victory in this final leg of the West Coast road trip of theirs, and they can get some rest for Wednesday's game against Orlando. All right, so right now we're back. Score is 67-56. Miami right now have an 11-point lead. That ball rims out. Here comes Dillon Brooks. And that's going to be an and one opportunity for Mark Williams. Nice assist from Dillon Brooks. And Mark Williams knocks down the and one. All right, here comes Miami. Wiggins being guarded. Wiggins loses the ball. I think that one's going to be out on Dillon Brooks. All right, Miami has the side out. They give it to Larson. Hello, Larson, missing the basket. Rebound by Colin Gillespie. Gillespie gives it to Allen. Back to Gillespie. Royce O'Neal finds Dillon Brooks for three. And that one goes in with the kind bounce. So right now the Suns are within 5. All right, here comes Bam. Bam with a pump fake. Misses the basket and misses his own rebound. And here comes Phoenix. Colin Gillespie. Gillespie gets tangled up, and I think we're going to have ourselves a jump ball. Colin Gillespie got tangled up with Pelle Larsson. And then Kasper Siakam came flying in. All right, so we're going to have a jump ball between Pelle Larsson and Colin Gillespie. All right, Miami has the ball until they didn't. And that's going to be a foul on Miami. So that will send Mark Williams to the line for 2 free throws. Mark Williams makes the first free throw, and Jaime Jaquez Jr. comes in the game for Miami, replacing Pelle Larsson. And Mark Williams goes 1 of 2. So right now, Phoenix are on a 7-0 run. There's 3 on the way. Rims out for Miami. Dillon Brooks comes down with the rebound. And here comes Dillon Brooks gets the layup. And Phoenix are within 2 as Erik Spoelstra calls the timeout. The Phoenix Suns right now are on a 9-0 run. And they have been attacking the Heat so far, using their own offensive schemes against them. Miami leads 67-65. And Luis Rubin asks, do you think Miami should let go of It depends on what deal the Heat will get, because right now no one is untouchable for the Miami Heat. So if Wiggins ends up being traded, it happens. I mean, there are rumors I've been hearing about Wiggins going back to the Golden State Warriors. Remember, Wiggins was part of that Jimmy Butler trade that sent him to the Warriors last season. So if Wiggins ends up back to the Bay Area, I think the Heat could get Jonathan Kuminga in. However, there's another trade rumor, or trade idea, I should say, that will bring Andrew Wiggins to Los Angeles. And this is according to Nick Roloff. If you haven't checked out his channel on YouTube, I highly recommend it. Shout out to Nick Roloff. He made up a trade idea that would send Andrew Wiggins and Terry Rozier to the Los Angeles Lakers for Maxi Kleber, Rui Hachimura, and a draft pick. I think either a draft pick or Dalton Connect. Either way, I think anyone in the Miami Heat is untouchable. And I would like to see what kind of trades the Heat come up with to actually help their team. Whether they get Jonathan Kuminga, whether they get Ja Morant, or they go for the big game, that is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Either way, it's going to be very interesting to see what Miami does before the midseason trade deadline comes around. And yeah, the Lakers are interested in Wiggins. I think the idea of sending Wiggins to the Lakers, because the Lakers need someone who can shoot off the wing. They need someone who could play the wing better, because that's something the Lakers don't have right now. And speaking of wings, we are right back into this game. Miami leading 67 to 65. Getting ahead of myself there, as the aforementioned Wiggins knocks down the basket. So now the Heat are up by 4. And here's Dillon Brooks again, missing that three-pointer. Rebound is recovered by Miami. Here comes Jaquez. He gives it to the Hawkes. Here comes Hawkes with the spin. Drives into the lane, gets the basket, plus a foul. Hawkes will go to the line for the and one. Alright, so Ami Hawkes right now is at the line. And he makes the and one. So right now the Heat are up by 7. Alright, here come the Suns. Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen now guarded by Hawkes. That's a 3 on the way. Rims out. Rebound by Wiggins. Wiggins. Finds Norman Powell. Norman Powell with a spin. Gets his shot blocked. And here comes Phoenix. And Phoenix missing that basket. Here comes Miami now. Kasparas Jaquez for 3. And Kasparas, the friendly ghost, Jaquez 3 from Miami. The Heat go up by 10. Jaquez now with 7 points, shooting 50% from the field. And that ball rims out. Miami right now on an 8-0 run. There's another 3 on the way. That rims out. Rebound goes to Phoenix. Okay. And that's going to be a foul on Miami. That will send Phoenix back to the line for 2 free throws. Phoenix gets the putback. So right now, the Suns trailing by 8 in this one. Here comes Jaquez. Jaquez gives it to Norman Powell. Powell almost lost the ball. Ball's recovered by Miami. And it's been a dogfight for that rebound, but Phoenix ends up getting the ball. And there's a corner three. That rims out. Rebound by Phoenix. Here comes Dillon Brooks, flying into the lane. Rebound goes to Kasparas Jaquez. And here comes Jaquez. Jaquez finds Norman Powell. Jaquez for the three. No go. Rebound goes to Phoenix. Here comes Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks gets to the lane. And Dillon Brooks gets the basket. Dillon Brooks right now with 20 points, shooting 50% from the field. Jaquez loses the ball, and here comes Miami again. Here comes Phoenix again. And Phoenix getting another putback and second chance point. Isaiah Livers with that one. So far, the Suns are trailing by 4. There's a corner three from Nikola Jovic. 3 from Miami. Love that one. All right, and here comes Phoenix again. Uncontested layup. That was a red carpet layup for Phoenix. Also Higuodaro with 6 points. Here comes Norman Powell. Finds Jaquez. Jaquez backing him down. He gets fouled and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Jaime Jaquez Jr. makes his first free throw. Drew Smith and Simone Fontecchio now entering the game for Miami, replacing Kasparas Jaquez and Norman Powell. Dillon Brooks will also come out of the game for Phoenix. And Jaquez makes both free throws. Miami leads by 7 in this game. And here comes Phoenix. Jamaree Bouyea, former Heat player, passes it out to Isaiah Livers for 3. But there was a foul called on Simone Fontecchio before the basket. Jamaree Bouyea at the line for Phoenix. Bouyea missing the first free throw. And Bouyea makes 1 of 2 from the line. Alright, and here comes Drew Smith. Gives it to Alan Larson. Here comes Larson. Out to Drew Smith for the corner 3. That rims out. Rebound by Phoenix. Here comes Jamaree Bouyea. Bouyea gives it to a teammate. that rims out. Rebound by Miami. Here goes Hawkins. Out to Pelle Larsson. Drew Smith is open. He runs the baseline. Missing that layup. And here comes Bouye. Colin Gillespie has it. Thought about going for the three. Here comes Colin Gillespie again. Phoenix looking for the three. That's a miss. Rebound by Jaime Jaquez Jr. All right, here comes Drew Smith. Gives it to Jaquez. Here comes Jaquez. Spinning his way into the lane, and he gets the basket. And here comes Phoenix. Isaiah Livers three, and he knocks it down. That's a long three. That's a long three that Phoenix has been looking for. And of course, that ends the third quarter. It's been a back and forth sequence of runs between these two teams, but right now Miami has an 82-77 lead. Stick around because we'll have more action ready in the fourth quarter. Going back to what Luis Rubin commented, saying that the Lakers are interested with Wiggins. I think there is a possibility that the Heat and the Lakers do make a trade in which Wiggins go to the Lakers, but the Heat get not only Maxi Kleber but also Rui Hachimura in either a draft pick or Dalton Connect. I think that would be a good trade because Miami will not only have a big that can be some good balance in Maxi Kleber, but you also have Rui Hachimura, who you can develop and make into that you can not only develop, but you can also make into another scorer who can come off the bench and provide some good points. So I think that's something that the Heat need to explore. I mean, there's also the Golden State trade, but the Lakers trade idea is just as tempting, if not interesting. So hopefully we'll see what Miami does before the mid-season trade deadline ends. Do I think Giannis will join Miami? It's a wild possibility. It's a very wild possibility. Because the situation that Giannis finds himself in Milwaukee, I feel bad for him. He helped that team win an NBA championship back in 2021. And what have they done for him ever since? They haven't improved. They haven't done nothing they haven't provided anyone or anything to surround him with. Most of the players from that team are gone. I mean, most notably Chris Middleton, who's now, I think, a Washington Wizard or Portland Trailblazer. I don't know, one of the two. But the Bucks organization hasn't done anything for Giannis, and not to mention that the Bucks fans have booed him and he booed back. So that union between Giannis and Antetokounmpo and the Bucks is coming to an end. And do I think Giannis will go to Miami? I think it's a possibility, but there are other teams that could also vie to get him as well. All right, and speaking of basketball, we do have the fourth quarter to call. It's Jaime Jaquez Jr. knocking that basket down, and the Heat go up by 7. Jaime Jaquez Jr. right now with 11 points, shooting 80% from the field. There's Isaiah Livers, who made that long three-pointer. All right, here comes. I think that's going to be a hard offensive foul on Phoenix. Drew Smith taking that nasty charge, and Grayson Allen will come back into the game for the Suns. Okay, here comes. And that's a nice corner three from Bam Bam Adebayo as Miami now go up by 10. All right, and here comes Phoenix missing that basket. Rebound by Pala Larson. Larson directing traffic for Miami. Gives it to Jaime Jaquez. To Bam. Here comes Bam. Fades away. Misses the basket. Rebound by Phoenix. All right, and here comes Colin Gillespie, guarded by Drew Smith. All right, and here comes Jamari Bouye, loses the ball, and here comes Drew Smith flying in, and he gets the basket. Drew Smith wanted the foul, but I guess we're going to have a timeout for the Phoenix Suns. The Heat right now are rolling as they lead 89-77. It's been a tough competitive game for both teams, but Miami looks like they're keeping their momentum on a good pace. Luis Rubin says Bam and Giannis have the same agent. That is true. Bam and Giannis not only have the same agent, but they're also good friends of each other. Despite the fact that the Heat and the Bucks are rivals, Bam and Giannis are friends. And if we do see Bam and Giannis teaming up together in Miami, I think that's going to be a very big opportunity for the Heat to make some noise. Even though there's a lot of teams out there that are vying to, even though there are some teams that are vying to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think Miami is going to be one of the names or one of the teams to look forward to seeing, because I think they're going to really throw it out there. I mean, right now the New York Knicks, as far as Karl-Anthony Towns is concerned, I don't think the Knicks should trade Karl-Anthony Towns before the trade deadline. That's not going to happen. What the Knicks have right now with not just Cat, but also Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Tyler Kolek, that team has been on a roll as of late. The Knicks are one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. So it wouldn't make any sense for them to get rid of Karl-Anthony Towns. Yes, Karl-Anthony Towns' contract is very expensive. I mean, 2 years plus $10 million, plus a $10 million bonus. I don't think that's going to happen. If the Knicks do that, I think they're going to put themselves back at square one. So, if I'm the Knicks, I wouldn't even bother thinking about putting Cat up for trade. Not with all that's been going on with them. Because last season, they made it to the conference finals. They almost made it to the NBA finals, had they not lost to the Indiana Pacers. So, it makes no sense for them to at least attempt to get rid of Karl-Anthony Towns. It's cheaper to keep the guy. And speaking of that, we have more Heat action on the way. Phoenix answering back with a basket. So it's now a 10-point game for them. It's a 10-point game right now. All right, here comes Miami. And I think that's going to be a foul on Phoenix. Paolo Larson diving shoulder first right into Colin Gillespie. All right, Miami will have a side out. And they lose the ball. Here comes Isaiah Livers in Phoenix. Has a 3 on the way. That rims out. Rebound was to Miami, but then the ball was knocked loose and out of bounds. So it will remain with Phoenix. All right, here comes Dylan Brooks. The step back. He misses it. Rebound by Fontecchio. Here comes Hawkes. Hawkes gives it to Drew Smith. Drew Smith back to Fontecchio. Here comes Fontecchio flying into the lane. Gives it to Bam for the corner 3. That rims out. Rebound by Isaiah Livers. Here comes Phoenix now. All right, here come the Suns driving into the lane. And that will send Grayson Allen to the line for 2 free throws. Grayson Allen makes the first free throw. And Grayson Allen goes 1 of 2 from the line. Here comes Hawkes. Hawkes flies in and gets the layup. All right, here comes Dylan Brooks. Brooks finds Mark Williams. He gets fouled and he will go to the line for the and 1. The hoop plus the hard. He will not be denied. And Mark Williams makes the and 1 opportunity. So right now the Heat lead by 8. Here comes Bam. Gets fouled and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. All right, Bam at the line. He makes the first free throw. And Bam knocks down both free throws. So now the Heat have the 10-point lead. Here comes Dylan Brooks. Brooks gives it to Williams. Williams to Grayson Allen. Allen with a step back 3. Rims out. Rebound by Drew Smith. All right, here comes Paolo Larson. Loses the ball, but he gets it right back. Out to Bam. To Fontecchio. Fontecchio. Drew Smith Corner three. Drew Hill, Drew Ski Smith, 3 from Miami. And he go up by 13. All right, Dylan Brooks gives it to Grayson Allen. Here comes Grayson Allen. That's a 3 on the way. That rims out. Rebound by Miami. Here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. Line into the lane. And he gets the basket. And that's going to prompt the Phoenix Suns timeout. Right now, the Heat are on a roll, and they look sharp right now. A couple of baskets from Drew Smith, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Bam Adebayo, and all of a sudden, the Miami Heat are leading 98-83. Jinwell Bolandres 980 says, I don't think the Knicks will win a finals, even a conference finals. You know, considering how wide open the Eastern Conference is, you got so many teams that were projected to be in the top 6, or at times look like they could be a top 5 team, like Miami was during the start of the season. But you never know, because right now, Detroit looks like they're the top team to beat. If I had to choose what team could make it to the finals and represent the East, I would say the Detroit Pistons, because right now their team looks solid. New York, I don't know. If the Knicks can remain healthy and manage to keep their star players like Karl-Anthony Towns, there may be a good chance that the Knicks could do some damage. And Luis Rubin says, if Miami wins, they will be 25-22. That is true. That is true. Miami will have will be back in the win column. But as far as their standing in the Eastern Conference, last I checked, they're still in play-in territory, which is something they've been accustomed to for the last couple of seasons. And as a Heat fan myself, you're kind of wondering when is this team gonna get themselves out of the play-in. And we're back with the fourth quarter follow-up. Miami right now with 17 second chance points. Dylan Brooks has been on a roll for Phoenix, 22 points and 4 rebounds. And Andrew Wiggins with a double-double performance, 10 rebounds and 10 points. His first double-double of the season. It may not be flashy, it may not be ostentatious, but it's a double-double nonetheless. Phoenix will have the ball side out. Alright, rebound by Bam. And here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. Jaquez kicks it out to Fontecchio. Fontecchio finding Jaquez. Jaquez 3. And Jaime the Aztec Jaquez Jr. 3 from Miami. Juan Wick is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. And here comes Grayson Allen finding Royce O'Neal for the 3. He gets fouled. Let's see who that foul was on. I think that foul was on Bam. So I don't know who's going to be going to the line. Was it Royce O'Neal or will it be... Nope, it's going to be side out for Phoenix. And yet another foul called on Miami. This one, I believe, is going to be on Pelle Larsson. All right, Royce O'Neal to the line for Phoenix. O'Neal knocks down the first free throw. And he makes both free throws. Right now, here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. Jaquez gives it to Drew Smith. To Pelle Larsson. Larsson driving into the lane. And he gets the basket. Right now, the Heat are leading by 18 in this game. And here comes Phoenix missing that layup because Miami right now. Drew Smith gets fouled and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. All right, here comes Pelle Larsson. He gives it to Drew Smith. Out to Jaquez. Jaquez for 3. That rims out. Rebound by Dillon Brooks. And here comes Phoenix. Dillon Brooks to Grayson Allen. Here comes Grayson Allen flying in. Misses the layup. And here comes Miami again. Fontecchio. And that's going to lead to a Heat timeout. So far, it's been a fast-paced game with both teams giving it their all, but Miami is leading 103 to 85. All right. Luis Rubin says that the Miami Heat will rise to 7th place. 7th place is still play-in territory, so that's still not good enough for the Heat. I mean, the Miami Heat are 3-time NBA champions. So are the Detroit Pistons and Philadelphia 76ers. But a team like that should not settle for less. Even if they rise into the ranks of the Eastern Conference, I think this team deserves more than just 7th place in the East. But they need to play like they does. But they need to play with a lot of desire. That they need to be atop of the Eastern Conference, like at least top 5. At least top 5 is what I hope for this team. All right, right now we're back to this game. Fontecchio having trouble with the ball. Phoenix now has it. Royce O'Neal has the ball. He gives it to Dillon Brooks. Here comes Brooks with the step back. And he knocks it down. And Phoenix trail by 16 in this game. Here comes Jaquez. Jaquez getting tangled up. And I think that's going to be a jump ball. Either a jump ball or foul. All right, Norman Powell is entering the game for Miami. He replaces Simone Fontecchio. Ball is sailing out of bounds, and this one goes back to Miami. All right, and here comes. And that ball goes sailing out of bounds for Miami, so it'll be Phoenix ball. Here comes Dillon Brooks. Brooks flying in, and he gets a step back jumper. Dillon Brooks right now leading the way for Phoenix on offense. He has 26 points, shooting 11 for 23 from the field. All right, here comes Drew Smith. And that's going to be a traveling violation on the Heat. So that will be Suns ball. That's a three on the way. And that rims out. Rebound by Norman Powell. Gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez finds Larson streaking up ahead, and he gets fouled. And he will go to the line for the and-one. Gotta love the heart and tenacity of Pelle Larsson. And Pelle Larsson missing that basket. That and-one opportunity, I should say. Here comes Phoenix. And that layup is good for the Suns. And that will prompt an Erik Spoelstra timeout. Miami have the momentum in their favor as they lead 105-91. And Luis Rubin is saying that the Knicks are in decline. Oh, really? I mean, last time I checked the Knicks, Jalen Brunson was on the injured list. So I don't know how bad things have gotten for the Knicks since then. I mean, they were one of the top 6 teams of the Eastern Conference. So right now, I don't know how bad things have gotten for them. I mean, I know Philadelphia is one of the top 6 teams in the East, along with Detroit, Boston, surprisingly, but then again, it's Boston. What can you do about it? I know Orlando is currently in 7th place. Either that, or they probably out of the play-in territory. But regardless, I want to know how bad the Knicks have gotten. That's what I want to know. But right now, we gotta go right back to Heat action. Right now, the score is 107-94. I'm sorry, 105-91. And there's a nice layup from Pelle Larsson. And there's a 3 on the way from Colin Gillespie, and he knocks it down. So right now it's a 13-point game. And here comes Miami. Pelle Larsson to Jaquez for 3. That rims out. Rebound by Bam. Gives it to Norman Powell. Gets his shot blocked from behind. Recovered by Drew Smith. And Drew Smith gets the easy layup. Nice heads-up play from Drew Smith, and that prompts the Phoenix Suns timeout. Coach Jordan did not like what he saw from the Suns defense. So we're going to have ourselves I think a 30-second timeout. But right now, Miami is leading 109-94. All right, here come the Suns. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Score is 109-94. All right, Jamaree Bouyea is in the game for Phoenix. Miami recovers the ball, and I think that one's going to be out of bounds on Miami. So Phoenix will have the ball side out. All right, and that ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Miami. It's still Phoenix ball. They'll have to inbound very soon. They don't have much shot clock to work with either. All right, and here comes Jamaree Bouyea. Step back three, long three. And that rims out. Rebound by Phoenix. Here comes Jamaree Bouyea. Passes it out to a teammate. Back to Bouyea. Bouyea loses it, but gets it back. And he gets the basket. Jamaree Bouyea, former Heat player, former Sioux Falls Skyforce player. He has 5 points, shooting 40% from the field. And that's an open three. That one rims out. Recovered by Miami. That one also misses. And here comes Phoenix right now. Looking to get back into this game. And that's going to be a foul on the Heat. Phoenix making that first free throw. Sorry, they're missing the first. Right now they made both free throws. Sorry, excuse me. All right, here comes Miami. Tommy Hawkins Jr. right now. Here he comes, driving to the lane. And gets the impossible basket. All right, here comes Phoenix. Demari Bouye has the ball again. Passes it out. That's a 3 on the way. Rebound by Phoenix. A rebound and a putback. So right now the score is 111 to 100. Miami has an 11-point lead. Phoenix comes away with that steal. Here they come. No go on the dunk. No go on that basket, but they get the putback. So it's now a 9-point game. $20 seconds remaining. Looks like Miami's going to allow the shot clock to go off. Bam thinking about going for the basket. And that's going to be a 24-second violation on the Heat. And that will do it. The final score, 111-102, Miami. Woo! This one was just like the Utah game. Very physical, very fast, but man, both teams played like they had something to prove. Miami's defense was very solid, but it was Miami's tenacity on the boards, especially getting some offensive rebounds and second chance points and free throws is what helped them win this game. Normally offense wins games and defense wins championships, but an even mix of both offense and defense helps Miami out in a great way. So Miami definitely came up big, especially with Bam Adebayo, Nikola Jovic, and Andrew Wiggins getting his first double-double of the season. So right now, the Heat now have 2 wins in a row this season. And they end their West Coast trip on a high note. 3 up, 2 down. I would say it's a somewhat successful road trip because they did manage to find themselves during that game against Utah, and then here in Phoenix, they really showed just how much tenacity they have. So this is yet another good win for Miami, and something that's going to help them find their confidence and their stride again. For the Miami Heat, Pelle Larsson had 10 points, 7 rebounds. Off the bench, Nikola Jovic had 12 points, 6 rebounds. Jaime Jaquez Jr. went off with 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Drew Smith came through with 11 points. Bam Adebayo had 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. And we have a pair of double-doubles. Andrew Wiggins with 10 points and 10 rebounds. And Norman Powell with 16 points and 10 rebounds. Solid effort from both of them. And for the Phoenix Suns, Dillon Brooks led the way with 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Mark Williams had a near double-double of 11 points and 8 rebounds. Grayson Allen had 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And Colin Gillespie with 11 points and 4 rebounds. This was still a very good game between both teams. Miami definitely came out with something to prove, and they came ready to play. And they ended Phoenix's 7-game win streak at home. So kudos to the Heat for coming up big. I also want give a special shout out and thanks to Luis Rubin from Canada. Good having you here with us on the Heat Zone. You're always welcome anytime. Spread the word and let your friend spread the word. Tell your friends and family where to find us. Where to find Heat Zone Live, courtesy of Kendall Sports Network. And of course, also give a special shout out to Jinwil Bolandres. Thank you for the comments. I'm always love interacting with you guys. I always love interacting with the fans. It gives me a lot of joy to share my knowledge and my insight of basketball with each and every one of you, and going back and forth like it's a normal conversation between us. But nevertheless, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and either watching the scoreboard or listening to my play-by-play of what's going on within the game, as well as sharing my knowledge and my analysis. It really means a lot. It really means a lot. You know, I want to thank each and every one of you. You know, take care of each other, look out for one another, be kind to each other. Don't be afraid to tell somebody that you love them. Even if it's somebody you don't know. Just tell them that you are loved, that you are needed, and that the universe will be a very frigid place without you. Because everyone deserves to be loved no matter what. And we always have to be kind to each other in these current times that we are under. So always look out for each other, be kind to one another, and always be there to be a guiding hand in helping those who are less fortunate and not trying to take advantage of you. Always be kind no matter what, because you never know when that day comes. I'm Deron Butler, reminding you to always run through the paint. Take care, God bless, and the next time we see the Miami Heat, they will be heading back home. Of course, they'll have 2 days of rest, but they will be back home to take on the Orlando Magic. That game starts Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. and you can watch that on NBA League Pass and FanDuel Sports Network Sun. Yes, again, Heat Magic. That game starts 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday, and you can watch that on NBA League Pass and FanDuel Sports Network Sun. Excuse me. So, take care. God bless. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. And as always, go Heat. Love each and every one of you. See you on Wednesday.